Hi everyone. In this video I'd like to talk about solar systems for your home. Now, as it turns out, there are actually two types of solar systems for your home. The first is a thermal system, and that's going to heat water for your home. It could be for your swimming pool. Those systems, if you've seen them on a home, they look like big plastic mats up on the roof. And the other type of thermal system is for heating your home hot water. The modules for this actually look somewhat similar, or very similar, to the modules you would see for a solar electric system, a photovoltaic system. Both of these systems are actually cost-effective. The swimming pool systems will allow you to use your swimming pool, start up earlier in the spring and go later in the fall. And the home hot water systems, again, are relatively inexpensive. Home hot water is one of your biggest utility expenses, so this can be a very good investment. But the other type of system that I deal with most often are the photovoltaic electric systems. Now, there are two major components that make up the bulk of a photovoltaic system. The first are the solar panels or solar modules. And the traditional technology for the solar panels has been the crystalline silicon cells. If you look at a module, you'll see a number of those cells. So anywhere, depending upon the size of the module, it could be just a few, up to 70 or more cells. And there are actually two types of silicon cells. One is the monocrystalline, or single crystalline cells. They look black in appearance and look very uniform. They just look black. The second type is the polycrystalline cells that have the more blue appearance that you might have seen on roofs. And if you get close to the modules, they kind of actually have, some of them will have sort of a crazy quilt appearance to them. But those are the two types of regular silicon cells. Now, the other technology that is emerging and becoming a bigger part of the industry, and it's going to continue to grow because it's cheap to manufacture, is thin film. Thin film can either be an amorphous silicon, which means it doesn't have a crystalline structure to it. And they also use some exotic materials to make up thin film. Thin film can be put on plastic substrates. They are actually starting to put it into paint. At some point it'll be part of building materials that cover entire buildings. And again, the manufacturing processes to do thin film are quite cheap compared to the kind of clean room technology that's needed for silicon cells. So look to the future for thin film to bring the price of solar down even further than it is today. So the other major component to a solar system for your home is the inverter. And traditionally, we've been using string inverters, meaning that you would use a single inverter mounted next to your electrical service that would take the DC current coming off of your roof and convert that into usable AC current for your home. All done, like I say, with a single inverter. However, the recent development in the market has been the microinverter. And in this instance, you're going to have a single inverter mounted very close underneath or on each of the modules up on your roof. It gives you an opportunity to convert that DC current to AC current right on the roof. And there's some advantages to that. And I'll have another video and article to discuss what those advantages are. So, the systems that most of us are going to have are going to be grid tied, meaning we're still going to remain tied to the utility company. Now, there are off-grid systems where people are more remote and don't really have any other way of having electricity. Those are off-grid systems. They require batteries and generators, all that stuff for backup and to actually make the system usable. The truth is 99.9% of grid-tied systems don't have any backup, no batteries. You don't need it. That's because we use net metering. And essentially, net metering allows you to use your utility company sort of like a battery. So what happens is this becomes a balancing act, because there are going to be times when your system overproduces. Let's say it's a bright sunny day, you're off at work, your system is probably going to be producing a lot more electricity than is being used at home while you're away. So when your system overproduces, it actually pushes that electricity back out onto the grid and you earn credits. So these periods you start earning credits that you can use later on, like times like at night when your system isn't producing anything, you're underproducing, and you're burning off the credits. So it's through net metering. We're using the utility company, sort of like a battery, and this is what really makes grid-tied systems possible. Electricity going back and forth between you and the grid, and if the system has been designed to meet all of your electric needs throughout the year and hopefully give you a $0 bill annually, this production going back and forth is going to, at the end, be equivalent. You're producing as much as you use. So it's a really great system, and it works quite well. Usually you'll never notice any sort of hiccups with these systems. Very reliable. You'll never know when your system is producing or when it's not, except for the fact that you're going to be provided with a very nice monitoring system which you can access via the internet anytime you want to take a look, see what your system is doing. So if you found this video on the website, you're probably already reading the article. If you found it through YouTube or via Google search, go to our website. You can read this entire article, plus there's a whole bunch of other articles, all designed to make you a better consumer. And you don't have to live in Denver for this stuff to be useful. So take a read, and if you have any questions, just get in touch with us. We're happy to help. So good luck, and thanks for taking the time to listen in.